I was going to do a follow-up video to Hurricane Dorian. I just haven't had time over the last couple of days. So we did not get hit hard at all. We just had some slight winds, lots of rain. The kiwi made it just fine. He is doing awesome. No damage. The spinach did really well as well. And none of my staghorn ferns fell out of the arms that I have them in on the pergola. When I first put them in, we would have to tie them down, but now they've attached themselves to the wood in the pergola, so I don't think they're going anywhere. And here, we didn't have any damage. My peppers are good. I put a little worm bin. Oh, sorry, the light got very bright. My worm bin did really good. And the rest of the yard is fine as well. My peppers. This is my supply of chocolate mint. I make a tea out of that almost every day. It's delicious. I had several different kinds growing, but decided that I like this one best, so I've taken the other ones out of the ground. This is a papaya that I just stuck in there because we have so many growing. And this is a rose. It's a climbing rose that we got from Park Seed. So it's doing really well. And these tomatoes, we'll see how they grow. We had a bunch that grew in over here that I never planted, but the tomatoes were excellent and just never had a trellis or anything to grow them on. So I took a couple of the seeds and started them inside and have a couple plants growing now. So that tomato and this tomato are the varieties that were over there. I don't know what they are. One I think is a midnight snack because it changes to an almost black to a slightly red at the end. My okra is doing fine. This collard tree is not doing fine. It was severely hammered by aphids. I put some cinnamon on top to kind of to hopefully deter the ants, which didn't really seem to work, but I've been diluting the worm juice out of the worm bin and putting it in here. Hopefully that helps. My potatoes and sweet potatoes, they have to be trimmed back today because you can't even see the bed that they're growing in any longer. This area of the yard, I don't let the dogs in at all, so I don't really need beds over here. I could go straight in the ground in the wood chips. And my favorite thing, my asparagus, did just fine, obviously. My fennel's going to seed, and there's a couple weeds in here, but the asparagus is doing fine. And last year I had some mustard growing in here, and I'm happy to see that seeded itself and is coming back as well, because that was delicious to make like wraps in. And this down here, right here, I planted a piece of organic turmeric last year. Just put it in the ground since I had some left over from making my juice, and it's growing. So that's a good thing. But my asparagus is doing fine. I do think I have that popping up in several places over the yard. Sorry, the light is starting to get really bright in the backyard now, so I'll try and keep the camera turned where it's not so bad. So, as you can see, we didn't have much damage, but since I had everything taken off of the deck, I pressure washed it. I still have to put the pressure washer away. And we also have to empty the oil out of the generator and then store that away as well. This year we got the dual fuel generator, which is awesome because we didn't have to put any gas in it. We just hooked up a propane tank. We didn't have much damage over there, although I'm going to cut down that night blooming jasmine because it's starting to get some severe mealybug and I don't want to have to spray. We did get damage to that papaya tree over there. The head snapped off during the storm. I've read a couple things online and on YouTube that says that it might still continue to grow. So we'll see. And my mulberries that I have here, I have 2 mulberries, well 3, but one of them's not planted. These mulberries have grown like crazy since I put them in the pots. They came delivered in something smaller than this. Sorry, I don't know if you can see it. And this one in particular is a white mulberry. I'm going to put it in a common place in the HOA to see how it grows. I decided these are both, the ones that I have in pots are both dwarf mulberries, are supposed to be. I bought them off of Amazon and they did absolutely fantastic. As soon as I put them in pots, they were really good to go. So I kept them in pots just because everything that I read about mulberries are that they really love water, and I was afraid of them being like a ficus tree or anything in that family where they go after your water in the ground and find your pipes for your pool, etc. I just didn't want any of that kind of stuff breaking. This red bean, as you can see here, I used to have a trellis here, and I used to grow red beans on the trellis. And so I haven't been picking these beans. I'm just going to save them for seeds. And I probably will put another trellis, not right here, but along here. So they will be able to grow again next year. But I absolutely love those beans. They taste really good. My female kiwi plant that I had just planted over here, transplanted from the other pergola, is doing great. So fortunately there wasn't any damage, and you can see when you get up close that it's putting out some new buds. It's getting ready to send out some more shoots, so she's going to do great. And I think within the next couple of months she'll be at the top of the rebar and heading onto the pergola. The lemongrass I had cut back a couple of weeks ago just because I have tons of it. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it really well, but over on that papaya, I just use it as mulch down on the ground, right? Because I can't use that much lemongrass. My peppers did get, blown over a little bit, but they are pretty heavy with peppers as well. So I've got to restake that up today. I don't know what kind of pepper that is. I just bought it as a start from Lowe's. And then this one is it's a long yellow pepper that's not spicy at all. You can just eat them like regular sweet bell peppers. And then that pepper there, I did not plant. That is, I'm sure, a jalapeno, because those are the only peppers that I generally grow besides habaneros. So this is the other mulberry that I was talking about, and they've just grown really, really well. And I didn't get any damage to my trellises, and my wisteria is doing just great over there on its trellis as well. So we did get this other bed put in. Haven't finished it completely yet, so I'm still working on that. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll start doing some new beds over here. My plan is to do those same beds that I have there horizontally here. I'll be able to fit more of them than if I do them vertically. The reason I have to do beds over on this side versus the other side where I can plant straight into the wood chips is I have 3 dogs, and I don't want them peeing on the food that we're going to eat. So if I put them in raised beds, they can't get in there. So, well, they can actually physically get in there, but they won't once the plants start coming up. This little zinnia that used to be here, I just started taking all the heads off, all the dead heads, and I just spread the seed everywhere. So the zinnias grow like crazy. So I love to see the flowers just popping up everywhere. So that's really it. So I haven't gotten, we didn't get any damage except that one papaya tree, and I feel really, really, really blessed that we didn't get anything more. So with that, I'm gonna sign off. Tell you guys to have a great day. The head is starting to grow back on that papaya tree and starting to re-protect the papaya that are already on it. I've taken off some already because they were really sunburned, and no sense in keeping them on there because it's not food that I could eat, so I just threw them on the ground. The papayas will grow where I left them, and then we'll have more papaya, which we don't have a lack of at this time. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.